Loveland City Attorney Vince Junglas was sued in district court in Larimer County, Colorado today in a separate lawsuit also filed today in district court. Loveland City Councilor Steve Olson is being sued. Those two district court lawsuits are separately filed against City Attorney Junglas and City Councilor Steve Olson. They are both for defamation per se, actual malice. What that means is that Steve Olson and Vince Junglas knew when they lied about me and defamed me to the public. They knew what they were saying was false, and they published it regardless of the truth. In anticipation of what I call all the wrong questions, for example, people ask me, why do you keep suing the city of Loveland? The proper question would be, why does the city of Loveland keep breaking the law so that I am forced to sue them? Another question I get is, why don't I have an attorney? When I had to sue City Manager Steve Adams for his assaulting me at the Larimer County Justice Center, I had to sue him without an attorney, and I was mocked by people in this community for trying to seek justice without an attorney. People call me a fool for doing that. There's a famous quote by Abraham Lincoln about supposedly people who don't have an attorney are foolish. Well, that's a nice thing to say if you're wealthy and you have enough money to hire an attorney whenever injustice has been served to you. But in many cases, the targets of corruption do not have money to fight. So they either forfeit their chance at justice by just letting the wrongs stand, or they try to fight it without an attorney. It's a very difficult situation to be in. So go ahead and mock me. Go ahead and laugh. I don't have an attorney because I don't have the funds, but that doesn't mean I don't have a right to seek justice. So let's talk a little bit about the mindset of people who take advantage of others who are targeted by corruption. The mindset of people who would ridicule or mock those targets of government corruption is something that I can't comprehend. It's something that I never hope to understand. But the bottom line is this: if you are a target of government corruption and you don't fight for it, for your rights, and you don't correct the record, then all of those nefarious government officials get away with their evil deeds. Now look, there's a difference between evil deeds and darkness, and what goes on in this building behind me are evil deeds. The corrupt officials in the city of Loveland know full what they are doing. It is not accidental. Their strategies are intentional. The designs on people who have the courage to speak up are purposeful. The ultimate goal is to silence those people who would dare speak the truth. On July 25th, 2025, the city of Loveland was served notice that I would be filing these lawsuits in district court against City Attorney Vince Junglas and City Councilor Steve Olson. The city of Loveland has had 90 days to try to work this out without going to district court, without having to use untold amounts of taxpayer dollars again. And the city of Loveland, the only communication that has occurred publicly is this bizarre email thread between City Attorney Vince Junglas, a couple other city employees, and the Sursa attorney Marnie Kloster. The reason I mention this bizarre email thread is that 90-day waiting period after the notice of claim is filed, between then and when the district court case is filed, that 90-day waiting period is there for the purpose of resolving this case before a district court case gets filed. The city of Loveland has zero interest in saving taxpayer dollars. They have zero interest in achieving justice. Their primary mission here is to cover up what they're doing. This bizarre email thread, which is on Global Relay, along with all the defamatory emails between Junglas and Olson, and it's mind-boggling. On September 8th, Marnie Nathan Closter, she's the Sursa attorney who represented Steve Adams when I sued him for assaulting me at the Larimer County Justice Center. Marnie Closter says on September 8th of 2025 to Michael Bailey and Vince Junglas and Steve Olson and a bunch of other city employees, she says, as I indicated I would do, now this is Marnie Closter talking, as indicated I would do, I checked the court filings, and as of this morning, no suit has been filed yet by Lynn, although the deadline for her to file has not passed, nor has the CGIA cooling off period. I will check court filings again at the end of October after the cooling off period expires. In the interim, has anyone heard further from Miss Lynn, or has she spoken at any council meetings? That's a bizarre thing to say. Who cares if I've spoken at council meetings? And who cares if anybody's heard from me? We have a legal process that has very strict parameters guiding what I can and cannot do once a notice of claim is served. So Marnie Closter should know full well that I haven't spoken at city council and that nobody has heard from me. So, oh dear God. So in response to that, Michael Bailey says to Closter and Junglas and Olson and some other city employees, Michael Bailey, he's the assistant city attorney, he says, "Good morning, Marnie. Thanks for checking the courts. I haven't heard anything relevant to this claim from or about Miss Lynn lately. And while I can't say for sure whether she's made any appearances before council in the last few weeks, I usually watch the recordings and can't recall seeing her lately. Please chime in if you know different, but it seems like we've no news to report at this time either." Did I use the word bizarre yet? This is bizarre. Here's why. This Marnie Closter, the Sursa attorney, calls this 90-day waiting period a cooling off period. The reason there's a 90-day waiting period is to allow the city of Loveland to negotiate with me so that we can avoid a district court lawsuit. They chose not to. And then they're confused about why they haven't seen me at city council or why they haven't heard from me. So then Lori Wilson chimes in, still on September 8th, and she says, "Good morning." This goes to all the same people. Closter, Olson, Junglas, other city employees. Lori Wilson says, "Good morning. I'm not aware of any recent public comment or other communications with Miss Lynn." Thanks for checking, Marnie. Seriously, what are we looking for? The only thing that can occur right now between the city of Loveland and myself are negotiations. If the city or Sursa attorneys wanted to contact me directly, they have my contact information. They know there is an active notice of claim against them. But instead of contacting me directly, they have this bizarre, "Have you seen her? Have you heard from her? Is she speaking at council? What's happening with Stacy Lynn?" That's weird. Anyway, so here we are today. 2 district court lawsuits have been filed against city attorney Vince Junglas and city councilor Steve Olson. That's where we are today.